Welcome to lesson number 2. So I hope yesterday went well for you and you got all the work done. And today we'll continue with looking at our skills of management. So as promised, here is the slide that you're going to actually see every lesson. So today we're obviously looking at number 2. So we're looking at skills, problem solving, and then looking at the interest of the stakeholders. And just a reminder to tick off your dot points as you make notes, and then add a case study. So if we've looked at a particular case study, you can put that in, or you can link it to any business, any case study that you would like. And once again, to remind you what you'll be able to do at the end of this topic. So by the end of the topic, you'll be able to discuss all of these points here, and you should be able to answer any question that we give you in the exam, but also as a practice question. So back to those efficient and effective skills that we looked at yesterday. We were looking at leadership, we were looking at integrity, self-motivated managers, and so on. So we're going to continue looking at that today and looking at the last of our skills of management. Now, problem solving is the first skill we'll be looking at. And I think when we're looking at problem solving, we're looking at the fact that managers have to be able to make decisions on a daily basis and fix any problems that arise. Is it that they're losing money? Is it that, in this day and age with coronavirus, they can't have eating tables, or, their income has dropped substantially. So they're always trying to think of how are we going to fix these problems, and how are we going to sort of stop losing lots of money in our business. Or, I guess when you're looking at businesses that have changed what they do. So you've got a lot of alcohol manufacturers like gin distilleries that now they're making hand sanitizer, or there's companies that are making face masks. So they're trying to think of solutions to these problems. And that actually sort of leads into the next one, where we're looking at flexibility and adaptability to change. So these managers didn't just sit back and say, oh, I can't do it, it's too hard. Or, oh, we don't know how to make hand sanitizers, so we're not going to make it, we're just going to keep losing money. They've had to be flexible, they've had to adapt to this change. And I think with the coronavirus, we're seeing a lot of the businesses that are doing that. And the ones that have been able to be flexible and adapt to these changes and haven't just said, oh, too hard basket, they're the ones that I think have come out on the other end, maybe in a more positive manner. Now, in your books, I want you to write down for me in a two paragraph structure. I want you to place the 9 skills of management in order from what you believe to be the most to the least important skills a manager needs to have in a business. And they're the ones that were on the slide previously. I want you to write a teal paragraph to explain why you feel your top skills is the most important with a specific business example. Now, I guess when we're looking at the teal structure, we're looking at our topic sentence. So what is it that you're going to talk about? Here, we're obviously going to talk about skills of management. Then we're going to explain. We're going to explain why we feel that the ones that we've chosen are our top skills. Then we're going to provide an example, and that example will be a particular business and what they're doing. And then the L part of that is linking it back to the question. So we're linking it back. This is why we feel that it is, an important skill to have. So these are the kind of activities that we're going to complete throughout. So in your book, I want you to write down a teal paragraph structure, and then we can go through those on our video conference lesson. Now, we use the word stakeholders, and I don't want you to confuse that with shareholders. A stakeholder is anybody that has an interest in the business. Now, you can't keep everybody happy, and this is where managers need to make sure that they are mindful about who the stakeholders are, and how they're actually going to maintain a positive environment, a positive nature about the interactions. So let's just go through some of these here. So stakeholders are those people or institutions with an interest in the business in some way. So we know that that's the definition of what a stakeholder is. And again, that could be something that comes up in an exam. Customers who want quality products, low prices, are after great sales service. Employees who want good pay, good working conditions, and access to training. Owners, shareholders who want a good return on their investment. Suppliers and creditors who want their money. Governments who want the business to pay taxes, obey the law, hire workers. Society who wants the business to uphold community values and use scarce resources efficiently. Everybody who wants sound environmental management, and thinking people who want sustainable development for future generations. So that's what everybody wants. How is a manager going to make sure that he's able to give that to his customers? Now, if we look at the customer one as an example, now they want quality products for low prices, but if them as an organization says, right, you want cheap prices, but you want good products, we're going to cut corners. We're going to buy less, maybe lower quality materials. But then the customer's going to come back and say, well, you've given us this dodgy product and we're not really happy with it. And then that's sort of going to get out there in the community. So you have to make sure that somewhere down the line, you make every single person happy. And that's a pretty difficult task in itself. So once again, at the end of this slideshow, we're actually going to look at our Canvas activities that I expect you to complete. Now, when we're looking at this activity here, it's looking at a job advertisement. It's looking at an advertisement for somebody that wants to be a business manager. There are 4 questions there. Identify the 9 main skills of management. Describe a situation where interpersonal and problem-solving skills are required. Explain why managers require a range of skills in order to be effective. Now, those 3 are general questions. And the 4th one is what relates to the actual job advertisement. So read the advertisement shown below and identify the skills required of the successful applicant. Now, I guess when you're going for these jobs, I mean, you might not have all of those skills, but if you've got most of them, you can always build on the ones that maybe you're lacking in, and you can just try to do the best you can, and then obviously learn from role models, through mentoring. And we're going to actually look at that in the next lesson, where we look at how are we going to grow, where are we learning, and getting our our skill set bettered for the better. Now, you also have this Canvas activity as well. We're looking at flexibility and adaptability to change. And in this instance, we're looking at Jeff Bezos. And he has been, it says in the first line here, that he's been recognized by various organizations as being one of the greatest living CEOs. And he's the CEO of Amazon, and he's been super successful. But he's also really careful that he doesn't become stagnant. He's also careful that he's always moving with the times, because he doesn't want to be that person that's left behind in business. He doesn't want somebody else to come from behind and overtake, all the great work that he's done and the money that he's made. The last Canvas activity is asking you to write a short answer response. I want you to consider the following statement. Management is often demanding, complex, stressful, and exacting. Contributing to the complexity of globalization, focus on quality, increasing competition, technological development, and the rising demand for ethical conduct of people and organizations. But at the same time, it can be personally rewarding. I want you to look at the positive and negative aspects of being a manager. So we know here that one of the positive aspects of being a manager is the fact that you get some kind of personal satisfaction from being a manager that's able to lead a team and lead them, in the positive direction and having them grow. The negative aspects are all the external things that you can't necessarily control. but I guess you need to turn them into a positive. So you need to turn the negatives into a positive. So have a look at that statement, and then I just want you to write a paragraph in the space provided on Canvas to look at what the positive and negative aspects of being a manager are.